What's going on, Reject Nation? It's Greg Alba here.
And it's John Humphrey! Over here.
Yeah. Fragments.
Sentences don't need to be complete, but you know what does need to be complete is a film by Guillermo del Toro, and we're going to see a part of his latest film, The Shape of Water, today in the form of a trailer. That's what we're going to do.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
All I know is Michael Shannon is in this.
Let's get gothic, people.
If I told you about her,
Whoa.
the princess without voice,
Richard Jenkins?
what would I say?
Is Richard Jenkins' voice?
I think. It sounds like him, but maybe not.
Eliza, come on.
Octavia.
Eliza, hurry.
Huh.
She deaf?
Mute, sir. She can hear you.
You clean that lab, you get out.
This may very well be the most sensitive asset ever to be housed in this facility.
You may think that thing looks human. Stands on two legs, right? But we're created in the Lord's image. You don't think that's what the Lord looks like, do you?
This creature is intelligent, capable of language, of understanding emotions.
Stuhlbarg?
Enjoy this.
When he looks at me, he does not know how I am incomplete. He
Jenkins?
sees me as I am.
Aww. It's like Beauty and the Beast.
J'avoue, je n'ai bavé pas vous, mon amour.
With French, yeah, Beauty and the Beast.
Avant d'avoir eu vent de vous.
The natives in the Amazon worship him like a god.
Get him out. What are you talking about? No.
We need to take it apart, learn how it works.
I don't want an intricate, beautiful thing destroyed.
We can do nothing. I'm sorry.
Don't do this, Eliza.
What is she saying?
Don't do this.
Oh, God, it's not even human.
Did they just show Michael Shannon dies?
If I told you about her, what would I say? I wonder.
Oh, dang.
Water brings life. Well, guys, the prequel to Abe from Hellboy is here. How can you not think of that when you see the creature?
Sapiens of the Black Lagoon. Is that Doug Jones? Abe Sapiens? He's like Guillermo del Toro's like buddy creature actor.
Might be Doug Jones. He's credited to be in the film, actually.
I feel like if he's got a character like that, he's probably got Doug Jones
It
playing.
seems like it's Abe, right?
Yeah.
Look kind of designed like him, too. And just so there's no confusion, we mentioned this in a couple of videos already, but because it's Comic-Con week, reactions and reviews, we've been putting them on separate videos. We're just going to be in one video for the week in Comic-Con. Yeah, this has everything that you love about Guillermo del Toro. When they first said from the director of Pan's Labyrinth, I'm like, he's done so many more films than Pan's Labyrinth since then. But that seemed like the perfect film to remind people of what he's done when you see this trailer.
Yeah, it has that fairy tale
The fairy
vibe,
tale fantasy vibe, and then it goes classic Del Toro where like the end of the trailer is like, oh, it's kind of a horror movie too at the same time.
Yeah, and it's a period piece, and it's
Yeah.
very fantastical, but in a scientific sort of way.
Scientific sort of way. And it does kind of have this Beauty and the Beast element of it too,
Yeah.
of a human being falling in love with a creature. And knowing Guillermo del Toro, he could probably pull it off in a way where I'm like, I want these two to get together.
They understand each other.
I want them to hook up by the end of this movie.
And that's what's important, is
Yeah.
that they get each other.
And Michael Shannon as a bad guy, well, yeah, I mean, Michael Shannon's a great bad guy when he does
Pretty
it.
intense, yeah.
But he's one of those guys who I never feel is a typecast bad guy. Like, you can expect him to be a bad guy, however, he can always bring a different layer, because he is one of the best actors we have around today, and I think one of the most underrated actors, and I'm so excited that he's in a Guillermo del Toro film.
Yeah, totally. I mean, like, he always brings a really lived-in quality, and this is a great cast. Michael Stuhlbarg I've really liked seeing and stuff, Richard Jenkins, and Sally Hawkins, man, is great. And to see her take on a role like this where, she's gonna not speak for most of it. I've been really intrigued by that lately for some reason, like movies that aren't as heavy on the dialogue, characters who don't necessarily speak and stuff.
Well, I think it's intriguing because it's a challenge for the audience, even though you know, she's going to be doing sign language, and then we're going to be able to read subtitles. A lot of the time, too, films become very heavy on its expositional dialogue, and you're kind of limited in that capacity when you have a character as a mute. But it also makes sense why she and this creature who doesn't speak English can communicate with each other, because they'll have to find ways to communicate without verbally
They
speaking.
don't need language.
Yeah. So it makes sense that they can really connect with each other. I like the idea of this story. This person works in a science lab with this secret creature being there. She starts to fall for it. And then, you know, you got the government person like Michael Shannon, who's the one like, no, you can't trust the creature. And it does remind me. It does remind me a lot of Pan's Labyrinth, actually, when I think of it in that capacity.
It's got the cultural backdrop of the Cold War too, because
Yeah.
it's in the '60s and stuff like that. I gotta imagine, you know, you're taking place in a government laboratory. Like, this has to bring some of that paranoia into there and some of that, you know, distrust.
No, yeah, this seems like classic Del Toro. I feel like Crimson Peak let some people down in terms of, you know, what we want from Guillermo del Toro. And I know we can spend time on debating why that's actually a good film or not.
Yeah.
But with that specific film, I can see why people were let down by it. I feel like all the elements that we want from Del Toro, fantasy elements, creature effects, period piece, horror infused with the love and fantasy vibe, because it feels like both those elements are going to be very strong here. He has a very distinct way of bringing fantasy, being lost in the fantasy, and then getting scared.
Yeah.
Very few directors can pull both of those qualities off, and I feel like Del Toro is the one who could really do this.
This seems to have all the earmarks, you know, of a Guillermo del Toro movie, and it seems like they're pitching it to be what it is what I hope for, you know? Because Crimson Peak definitely was made to look like a horror movie. And this looks like it has a lot of different elements. When you say, like, sci-fi, fantasy, drama, like, I see that through this.
Oh, yeah.
And I see that sort of gothic tone he's so good at.
Kind of feels like a part of a Harry Potter world at the same time, too.
Yeah, dude. If there's anybody who could take on, like, one of those, like, Elseworlds Harry Potter stories and actually make it special, like, Guillermo del Toro, I feel like would be your guy.
All right, guys. Well, are you going to see The Shape of Water? What's your favorite Guillermo del Toro movie? Except for Pacific Rim. Subscribe to The Real Rejects. Become part of the Reject Nation. Click that notification bell. John Humphrey on Twitter and Instagram. Social media manager at Blumhouse.com. And as always, make sure to check out our exclusive perks and rewards over at Patreon.com/The Real Rejects. We'd love to have you become a part of the community over there. It's growing, and love all the people that are participating in it.
If you want to put us on your body, shop.spreadshirt.com/The Real Rejects.